This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
What's your name, ma'am?
Stacy.
Oh, Stacy. What do you do for a living, Stacy?
I work for a Christian publishing company.
If there's one thing I can't stand.
Listen up, slap nuts.
Sit down, dummy, I'm talking.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Oh, Randy!
He's fat!
You f***ing numpty!
Will you laugh at that face? Shut your mouth.
The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better.
Hey, hi, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on thebrokeninfinite.com, Podomatic.com, iTunes, and wherever else you may find this fine audio recording and live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel. We're talking about professional wrestling, both for the mainstream and the independent scene, and welcome to the best and worst of 2019 so far. My name's Matty Jay, that is TWK.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm TWK of TWK Reviews, and I'm still wondering why Matty J announces that we're on iTunes, considering the fact that iTunes has not existed.
It's dead. I know. It's burnt. The intro's burned in my brain. I don't know why.
Like, I don't think we're on any sort of Apple streaming service at this point.
Fair point. Also, you're just a tad quiet. We were trying to figure out. I thought you were fine, but you're coming a little quiet on the stream. So
am I? Like,
just a tad.
Like,
just a
we
tad.
Did a test. We did a test earlier, and I could hear myself perfectly on your.
I know, right? Maybe coming a little closer to the mic. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what's gonna work. Too close. Little too close. Okay, I was just maybe because you were talking a little quiet. I don't know. Anyway,
I think you're on the drugs.
I'm completely sober.
You?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Mister, I like to drink rum and coke all day.
I wish I could drink rum and coke all fucking day, man. I wish I could, honestly. But, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah. So, for those new to the Wrestle Cast, I mean, it's been 10 years, but we always like to do a little something called the best and worst of insert year here. We like to do like a mid-year card report card thing to see where we stand on our situation. So, if you're new, the format will be a little different. Since we expect us to be a little long on the show, we do not expect to read any emails or comments this week. Since this might be a 2 to 3 hour show, we'd like to just keep it to just our list. However, if you're in the chat, feel free to participate. Even if we don't read them, we will see them on screen. They will be acknowledged on our VOD. And of course, if we do see something funny, we'll read it for the prosperity of the audio version, of course. However, usually it's just this, and whatever news happens the week now is pretty much what happens. Or, you know, what happens this week in the news, we read it next week in like a compacted thing. However, two big things happened, and I was going to keep the one thing for next week since it's not happening till next month. But considering the second thing, it would be addressing a big fat elephant in the room, which we kind of have to. So we're going to take care of that real quick and then get to our lists. Now, for what you're wondering, the first big one is the thing everyone's talking about, the fact that NXT is officially joining cable, not through FS1, but through USA Network. And the level of excitement / cautious optimism that's been going forward. Yeah, not FS1, USA Network, Wednesdays, 2 hours, 8 to 10 Live. There you go.
So yeah, I'm relatively excited for this. Though, as many people, like many people, I am very nervous about if Vince is ever going to get his hands on this program, because the one thing that's always been NXT's saving grace is the fact that it's a Triple H run show and not a McMahon run show.
Yeah.
And you can tell that in just every way it's presented.
Yeah, but everything presented, especially the fact where they would write for 4 hours of television once a month. That's not going to be the case. It's 2 hours a week. What's going to change in the creative process there? From what I've read, it looks like it's going to be I've read from any combination of Vince's will be hands-on, since it's going to be on USA Network, to Vince will be hands-on in the promoting and the handling the TV department, to Triple H is saying, fuck off with your creative bullshit, this is my show still. At this point, the only thing, it's officially Schrodinger's wrestling show with NXT. What we see the next few weeks until the debut date, which is mid-September, is classic NXT the way I like it. 1 hour on the network, good wrestling with featuring stars you may have never heard of before. Once at 2 hours, what's going to happen? That's the big question, and the only way to answer it is by waiting until it's airtime, and then NXT on USA Network. Let's go. What's going to happen? No fucking clue. Though, I get the feeling USA kind of panicked when they saw Chris, one of their other cash cows, that Chrisley Knows Best guy. You know, that douchebag that is, his face is plastered on like half of the fucking commercials on USA Network for WWE. Yeah, for those wondering, he got arrested. He's going to jail.
We'll see. He's a rich guy, so we'll see.
We'll see, but he's going down. He's been arrested for tax evasion, so maybe it's a panic move from USA. Hey, we'll pay you this much money to have NXT on Wednesdays for no particular reason other than we have nothing there.
Well, one thing I've definitely heard is that Fox isn't exactly happy with this news.
Can you blame them? They were the ones saying, hey, FS1, and then all of a sudden USA gets it, and it makes sense from the WWE side. Which channel has the most coverage, the most availability in homes, USA or FS1? You're gonna say USA, and
that and USA has kind of been WWE's home for quite a number of years now.
Yeah, and you're taking one of your two big shows to the big network, and you're gonna leave USA hanging dry.
Listen. FS1 can get main event.
Still a decent show if you put a superstar in there. But Lacey Evans, and you could get a superstar. But what about Lacey Evans? We'll get to that in a second or two. But that is down the line, and we will discuss the things that happens and everything else. The other big one, and the reason which kind of necessitated this particular pre-list reading contracted news segment, I guess you'd call it, is breaking news from a few hours ago. You've obviously heard about it. Pretty much it's all over the internet now. The fact that Jon Moxley has to pull out from All Out next week. Obviously next week we'll be previewing All Out, and we'll be very happy to still watch it. By the way, I have a pocket full of change that's that left over from the SummerSlam budget. That's going straight to the wrestling shoe. What? One person that will not be part of the wrestling show is Jon Moxley. And for those wondering, here are his thoughts on the screen for you right now. This is from his Twitter at Jon Moxley. Quote, I'm absolutely gutted to have to deliver this news, but I'd rather it come directly from me. In a nightmare scenario, a serious case of MRSA or MRSA has returned in my elbow. The timing couldn't be worse. In this circumstance, I'm forced to pull out of the fight August 30th versus Kenny Omega at All Out. I apologize to all involved, most importantly the fans. I'm incredibly frustrated and pissed off I'll have surgery this week to remove the bursa sac in my elbow, and be done with it for good. Should be a quick recovery, so I will be 100% for AEW Wednesday nights on TNT. Cheap plug. Sorry I had to. Still expect All Out to be an amazing show and hope all fans out there looking for an alternative tune in. You'll be blown away by AEW and excited to be a wrestling fan. I'm looking forward to watching this as a fan. He finishes with 3 simple words. This fucking sucks. End quote. And, well, they don't get more definitive than that. I get the feeling this is one of those cases. He felt something pop, or he felt something hurting, or something was wrong. Went for his weekend of indie bookings. Paid careful attention, especially if you watch his match against Pentagon. And the report said he was careful not to bump on his elbow. And then as soon as he was able to go to the doctor and say, "What the fuck's wrong with my elbow again?" The news dropped, and they fought. And I get the feeling he thought he could go through. And then when the word surgery popped up, fuck. So that obviously sucks.
Yeah, it's really just sucked that Moxley's out, but we do have a really great replacement.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably helped. It probably helps that they fixed whatever visa issues plagued Pac. But yeah, instead of Omega versus Mox, it's Omega versus Pac. So there you go. Pac is back in AEW all of a sudden, which is awesome, and it's a great match, and it keeps Mox versus Omega fresh.
Not only that, but we finally get to see Pac in AEW, something we've been waiting for quite a long time. Mm-hmm. And I'm very much looking forward to this match.
This was supposed to be, Pac was supposed to debut at Double or Nothing, so for those keeping track of that. So that's some good news there. Of course, we wish Mox all the recovery in the world. And Enrico asking the $1 million question, for now, he is no longer, for those wondering, he is the biggest reason why he had to pull out was a visa, and the bigger reason was he just didn't want to lose when he was holding the Dragon Gate Open, the Dream Gate Championship, which is the top title. He's no longer that champion, so there's that.
Anything could happen with this match.
Anything can happen. You could book this a myriad of 1,000 ways, and I don't think people are going to be too pissed off or too cut up, especially on 1 week's notice. But I get the feeling that these guys had a plan B, C, or D just in case something went, awry before their second ever full-fledged pay-per-view event. And lo and behold, I get the feeling they were happy to have that plan D or plan B or whatever plan it is. Again, just my thought there. Now, among the myriad of news, there is some good news, and I was going to keep this for next week. And just so you know, the two winners I'm going to give you my two winners for next week. This week, may as well do it. Kaiju Big Battle, which is another thing for another day, and I'll explain why. If not, I believe the Facebook Live video, which is still available through Metrocon's Facebook group. I was privy to the debut of Kaiju Big Battle at Metrocon Live, and that was fucking awesome. And of course, the bigger one will be Fighting Back 9. Now, I was there last week. Had a great time. The place was fucking packed. Packed, I tell you. And, literally standing room only. Sold the fuck out. And, they haven't posted the official number yet, but at the time of the end of the show, 50,200 plus Canadian dollars was risen for the Canadian Cancer Society, which is a big thumbs up, and it's great news. And it'll probably even be more So there you go. You still around there, pal? Or you're just waiting for me to shut up?
I'm just letting you talk, man.
All right, then. Well, you know what? I think at this point we may as well just enough of the dilly-dally, right?
Sure, let's go with that.
Let's go with that. So that's what we have to bring these up in quick succession. I want to give you says I had a great time. Cody was awesome, though I never got to meet him in person because that was only reserved for VIP meetups. And I got general admission because they sold the fuck out before I even got a chance to get those fucking tickets. Yeah, but it's still a good time, and I'm glad to contribute at a good cause. Now, let's get to the stuff. Now, for those wondering how this works, my list is I always go with what we watch. That's what we say. If you didn't watch it, don't put it on the list because you want to put it on the list. For me, it's what I was able to watch. Now, there's going to be some Impact stuff that you think, oh, shit! Someone started a raid? Okay.
Yeah, the chat does that a lot.
Frozen Traveler with a raid of party of 6! Hey! Jesus, that scared the shit out of me, that raid announcement. But thank you, Frozen Traveler, and to your 6 people. Welcome to the show just in time to explain just what the heck is going on. Here's what's going on with the list so far. This is what we've watched. Usually, the stop date is July, would be June, July. It's pretty much so far, the halfway point. Since we're a little late because pay-per-views and other stuff happen, it just happens to be after SummerSlam. So if SummerSlam happens to be on anything on our list, it's not on my list, per se. Anything that we've watched, anything we were able to watch, is eligible on the list up to taping time, which is 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, August 23rd, 2019. So anything before that, from like January 1st to now, good to go. Everything beyond that, sorry folks, gotta wait till the end of the year.
Well, yeah, it stands to reason we can't predict something in the future. Really?
We can't.
We're not psychic.
We wish we were, but actually we don't, because we'd know too much. And we'd spoil some things, and we'd be wanted in 3 states for them. 5 provinces in my case. That being said, we begin with the worst. And to some of you who are listening to this particular program and are longtime listeners and were once saying, railing against me about my hatred for a particular WWE superstar, long before it was proven, I was proven right. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the following clip. Take a listen.
Wow. That was easy. Those 2 never saw that coming. We left the little lovebirds fight on their back. I mean, I guess it's true. Love does make you blind.
We manipulated those 2 nasties.
Look, I wonder what's going to happen to Becky when Seth loses her title.
I wonder what's going to happen to Seth when Becky loses his title.
Do you think this is going to affect their relationship? I mean, the way I see it is, this is why we're the new power couple. It's strictly professional.
What those 2 don't realize is all this caring about each other is not an asset. It's a liability.
You know what? It's like that song, Love Stinks.
Sweetie. Fuck you. I was right.
There you go. So yeah, Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Now, little spoiler alert, Baron Corbin does not figure too much on my worst list, but he is on my worst list. And I'll explain why, and there was some deliberation on my end. Lacey Evans, oh, she's in there. For about the same reasons, but we will explain Of course, I will explain on my list. We begin with the worst of 2019 so far, and for those wondering, yeah, people are going, you're going to take a shit on Baron Corbin. There are some people who were pissed off at me because I was taking a shit on Baron Corbin way back in November of 2018, saying the more he keeps saying he is a ratings dumper, as good as he is, he's gonna, the ratings will keep taking the more he's on the TV. And lo and behold, he hasn't been on TV in what, four weeks, somewhat. So let me reiterate my point. The ratings go up when he doesn't show up. When he shows up, the ratings go down. AKA,
Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right!
So to the few of you who are railing me, I said, that's my little message to you. Rant over. We begin, ladies and gentlemen, with the best of the worst of 2019. The worst of 2019. T-Dub, you got worst wrestling show. Let's start with a big one right off the bat.
Worst wrestling show to me is the one show that makes it so difficult for me to watch because I honestly have not had the urge to watch this show in well over a year, and that is Monday Night Raw.
You're coming in just a tad quiet now. It's.
I have everything turned up to 100. I'm not sure what's going on your end.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. But let me do some bumping up here. But yeah, Raw for you. It's a sweep. Well, we're usually 3 or 4, but yeah, this is the first sweep. Raw for sure. It's been getting better in quality in the last month, but it's still not enough. I mean, the scale is still in the dumpster. Let's put it that way. Yeah, Raw for sure. Worst, and we'll start with a little bit above. Worst television announcer.
Alex Marvez. I like the guy personally. He seems like a relatively cool dude, but as far as announcing goes, he's just not there.
I get the feeling this was more process of elimination than anything else, just by the quality of everyone else in that category, and he's there with limited wrestling experience. Yeah, it's out. It's 2 shows. 2 shows. In fairness to him, it's 2 shows. But when on your first show you make Byron Saxton look good, and when you make David Otunga sound good, and he was on SmackDown this week, that there's a provable thing there. I hate to say it, and this is nothing against Alex Marvez. He's a cool dude, and he's obviously. They're putting him to good use in the Road 2 shows that are on YouTube. But on commentary, he's the inexperience is what puts him on the list, if nothing else. He will get better with more repetitions, but the fact that they signed Golden Boy, oh boy.
Wait, Golden Boy's official?
Apparently, yeah.
Yes! Replace Alex Marvez with Golden Boy. He was awesome at Fighter.
He was. He technically was. You know what? We're at the bottom of our pages. We may as well get to it. Most overrated.
I like this guy, but headlining 3 shows in a row, it wasn't working, and that's Baron Corbin. Once again, I like him. I'm a fan, but just
he was not ready for those shows. You get that point? You get that feeling?
I just think that was a bit too much of the same old thing over and over and over again with just nothing really changing.
Brock Lesnar for me.
All right.
Maybe the best word is overused, but Corbin's a good heel. He just has this go away heat going on, and yeah, I did watch Brian Zane's video on the matter, and he's got great points, but the way he's presented and everything else, he's still a good heel, but the way he's presented, it's just, nothing wrong with the man himself, just the presentation is off, and hopefully when he comes back for his match next week for the King of the Ring qualifier, something will be different. Do not wear that stupid shirt.
Well, apparently he's wearing a wife beater now, so that's different.
Close enough for rock and roll. And this one, oh, I'm interested in yours. I'm interested in finding yours. They fucked up on blank.
Bobby Roode's heel turn. Here you had
Ooh.
a chance to give us the Bobby Roode that we all been wanting and waiting for years now, but instead, he's after these heel turn, he's back to being off TV again. Like
Mustache.
it never even
Mustache.
happened.
The mustache was there, and then he grew his fucking beard like nothing ever happened. I don't blame you on that. You know what's worse, though? You know what they're fucking up on? The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, up until a few weeks ago, they're basically non-existent.
They're still, like, I'm willing to bet they're going to be non-existent in a couple of weeks again. Here's, you know, the minute they lose them, it'll be like, okay, props done, toys done. Sasha Banks Bailey, who want to work with them. Iconics, which they started working them and then they forgot about the Iconics, which is a fucking crime, by the way. Heel or face, they're good heat. Use it. And, you know, while we're thinking about it, Iconic. Did you post?
Mama.
Anyway, but yeah, notice some good tag teams here, and the best is a odd couple tag team. The tag division in a goddamn nutshell, right there. You had something, and it was literally used to promote equality and women's revolution, and Ronda Rousey is here, and Ronda Rousey is here, and Ronda's gone, and okay, fuck the tag team belts, we're gone. Alright, put them away. Don't give a shit. Oh, Sasha wants to go, okay, we'll bring her back as a heel with blue hair.
I certainly get that feeling, and the thing that really disappoints me is the fact that after WrestleMania, it felt like they were going to go into this red-hot feud between the Iconics and the newly formed tag team of the Kabuki Warriors, which could have been a good maybe series of matches.
Yeah.
Leading up to Summer's 2-on-2 match against at SummerSlam for the belts. Maybe they could have done that.
If they have given a shit, they wouldn't be on this list. They don't give a shit, so it gets on my list. Worst promotion. Let's talk about that.
I was really split on this. And this one only won out by a hair, and that is WWE, with second place going to Ring of Honor.
Ooh. Not gonna lie, that's pretty much the same reasoning. Who had the worst half year? WWE is starting on the mend, but they still have good wrestling. Ring of Honor, the minute that MSG show, just the MSG show in general. They had a wide open opportunity to make new stars, or at the very least present themselves as a legit deal. Matt Taven, Enzo and Cass, and the poor quality of their matches. The failure to match, to be fair, New Japan, they're fucking awesome, and that's hard, but the failure to even try to get to the level of New Japan in that MSG show is what is killing them right now. And it's
Let's not forget a 30-minute Bully Ray match, which must have taken away time between Rush and Don Castle, and also turning Don Castle heel and removing the boys and everything that made Don Castle. It was just a series of many things that just built up to making Ring of Honor look really desperate for attention.
Yeah. Though, which wins? WWE. Saudi Arabia. We'll get to that particular matchup. You know which one I'm talking about. Worst comeback. I had a hard time with comeback, but I eventually settled on someone. I don't know about you.
Worst comeback to me is a man who I do not believe has won a match since his comeback, and that is Sami Zayn.
Ooh. I had Kurt Angle. In the wrestling sense, of course.
Yeah, his wrestling skills have definitely diminished.
They have diminished. With
the past
Sammy,
year.
there's you could recover by just putting him in on the shelf again for like a couple of months and then say he comes back, he wins. But this is the Fed we're talking about. But I agree. Yeah, Sami Zayn's a good pick, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Although that does seem to be on the upturn currently, managing Shinsuke Nakamura going forward, it seems. But yeah, I can definitely see why you'd put Kurt Angle on the list because his career's done and it kind of ended on.
They had a perfect opportunity and they used Baron Corbin, which, you know, controversy or not, it was the right move to give him enough heat. But at the same time, in hindsight, Jesus Christ, they could have picked a better guy. It made booking sense, but not cathartic sense, I guess you could say. In hindsight. Worst title reign. I get the feeling I know which one you're gonna pick, but let's see. Let's see.
Let's see.
Right under comeback.
Worst title reign.
Yep.
Finn Balor.
Ho! IC champ.
I didn't.
I see what you did there. Intercontinental Championship reign. Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't there. He barely showed up. Like any other mid-card title. Jesus. For me, though, Brock Lesnar, the second one between Extreme Rules and SummerSlam. What did that achieve?
Nothing.
Big fat repeat of WrestleMania. Oh, and you know, for the reboot, we got to do something instead of holding on, instead of like making a new star out of it. Let's throw Brock Lesnar in there. Fuck you. That's what I say. Just bail fire off with that shit. Worst angle.
Eric Angle.
God damn it.
Kurt Angle's brother.
I know.
He tried to be a wrestler.
I know.
Some of our listeners may not know. Kurt actually did have a brother named Eric Angle. He tried to be a wrestler. Obviously, career didn't pan out for him.
T-Dub. Worst angle or storyline.
Oh, the Rollins-Lynch relationship because it was so cringeworthy.
I have Corbin Evans, Rollins, Lynch build-up, actually. So I think that counts as a sweep. Just the build-up between the two of them was like, oh, that was so much cringe. So much cringe.
How do you think the match at Extreme Rules is going to affect the relationship between Rollins and Lynch? How will it affect their relationship? How will it affect their relationship? How will it affect their relationship? How will it affect their relationship?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think Peter Griffin could possibly say best. Actually, who the hell? Actually, I don't have it. Come on, where is it? Where is the fucking button? Aha, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, how will it affect the relationship?
Oh my God! Who the hell cares?
And followed by of course.
There's the clicker. No one would blame you.
Double Peter Griffin there. Worst rookie or first year in whatever roster or promotion, obviously. Who do you got on this one? Because I don't think there's been too many bad.
This person I put on here because, not because I hate them, but because they're pushed to the moon way too quickly, and that is none other than Lacey Evans.
It's funny I have exactly that for that exact reason. Lacey Evans. It started with the first match on the main roster, the Royal Rumble. Boy, or girl in this case. A couple of botch moves, and then right off the roster, and push to the moon, walks out, does the thing, and then the mic skills. She eventually got better, but not main roster better. She got pushed to. She didn't get pushed too far. She didn't get pushed to the moon. She got promoted too quickly. She needed more seasoning in NXT.
Yeah, probably. And one thing that really didn't help is the fact that before her first match with Becky Lynch, I believe she didn't wrestle any jobber matches on Raw.
No jobber matches. Just paraded over month after month, week after week, month after month, and then Lacey versus Becky is like, whoa, time the fuck out. More of the jobber matches. That women's right to good finish. It just needed to be built up.
Yeah, so her finish was never presented as an actual finisher. Most of the audience didn't even know what her finisher was. So when she hit it at the pay-per-view, the audience didn't react to it like it was a finisher because they didn't know that it was a finisher. So when Becky kicked out, it didn't get that good of a reaction, and it just kept going forward and forward. And she never really got a chance to really showcase her women's right finisher.
If they put the same effort in promoting their new the NXT on USA, they're on a month before AEW gets a crack at the TV at their TV show. That's a month to program your audience to say, hey, watch NXT on USA. If they put the same effort of programming that audience to watch a TV show, the same effort to put into putting over Lacey Evans, a finisher, instead of parading her and just do a fashion show and then she gets the fuck out of there, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't be as prominent on our list as she is now.
Probably.
That would be my guess.
So yeah, it's a combination. So yeah, it's a combination of a whole bunch of this. Really, feel bad for her, but
but it's a case of just it's a combination of not ready for the big time, not ready for prime time / being pushed too far too soon. Not all of it is 100% her fault. She must take some of the blame, but not the entire blame, thankfully for her. So it's not too late. But at least for this list, it is. Let's go right back down, right under promotion with feud. Worst feud of the year.
Okay, I can find it.
Between title reign and promotion and TV announcer. Bottom of the list.
Oh, there we go. AOP versus Roode and Gable.
Ooh, good pick. Nothing happened. Lynch versus Evans. This was Becky Two Belts' only her first feud as double champion and the one that cost her blue belt, which was an inevitability. She couldn't hold on to both belts forever, but this should have been more of Lynch. It made Lynch is looking fine after the feud, but she took some damage, and Lacey Evans, we all know what happened to her. Poor thing. But just nothing happened. Worst promo.
I would say a couple weeks ago, the backstage promo between Mandy Rose and some Native Development, because
there was some confusion.
Yeah, mainly because they're told to stick to the script no matter what, and when one of them made a mistake, they was like, nope, gotta stick to the script, I guess. Can't deviate from the script. And that's created a horrendous promo.
Any moment of bliss. I like Alexa, but all it is a dressed up Piper's Pit. And an admittedly nice looking microphone, but that's about it.
Wasn't that like every talk show since Piper's Pit?
Pretty much, but some are better, some are good, some are bad, and Alexa Bliss, I'm sorry.
I think the problem with the moment of bliss is the fact that it's way too frequent.
Yeah.
It's basically every single week.
You know, it is like a segment, but for me, it's like it's insta-mute every time. It's a moment of bliss. Okay, good. I can mute and go to the bathroom or go for a popcorn run. Awesome. That's not what you're supposed to do. Admittedly, some of them have gone better, but it's still not good enough. You're supposed to want to find out what the heck the thing is going to be. No. Also, Devin, you're misspelling. Devin the Great, you are misspelling some stuff.
Hey, he's an artist, not a writer.
That's very true. Fair point. Worst heel.
Once again, I like this person, but I have to be honest here, and Baron Corbin.
You don't want to do it, don't you? I was having the same thing because I don't want to take a shit on Baron Corbin because he's doing his job.
That's not what you sounded like at the beginning of this show.
Just again, the presentation is, for me, it's the presentation that is more of and he's the unfortunate culprit. You know what, man? Brock Lesnar. Too much Brock.
Brock.
Worst babyface.
Once again, I don't want to put him on here, but when you're a big-time babyface and when your face comes up on the big screen, you get booed. Matty, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
It's Seth Rollins.
I did not. I left it blank because I was thinking Seth Rollins.
I like him, but if you're once again,
he does a good job. But when you talk shit on Twitter, what do you expect is going to happen?
Yeah, you're talking shit on Twitter, talking shit during interviews. The audience is just going to naturally not like.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lesson here is stay in your lane, or we'll send Brock Lesnar to beat the shit out of you twice in 2 weeks. Yeah, Seth Rollins. Yeah, I was there when he showed up on screen with the commercial and everything else. I saw him on screen, and guess what? He got booed out the goddamn building at that takeover. Thankfully, he got the back at the end of the SummerSlam thing, but you had to fucking work for it.
Yeah, I was about to say, props to him for being able to work back those cheers because I did not think that was going to happen after hearing those
you know what? It's a case of I get the feeling that what WWE knew and they went to Brock and said, look, Brock, I know you just want to do suplex and get the fuck out of here. Put your fucking working boots on. But I want him.
God damn it. Look at Seth. He's supposed to be our main man right now. By the way,
put your goddamn pal, put your goddamn boots on and fucking work.
Yeah, apparently, though, the main reason why Seth is at the top and not Roman is because apparently the company, they don't really see him push him because of his illness for some reason, I think.
I get the feeling they don't want to push it too far because he's already getting some booze back, which is like, no.
I don't really think that's part of it. But, I could have sworn I read an interview with him somewhere where he was talking, either him or God, I can't remember the context of the thing, but I wish I could remember because it was back during June.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently the company, they're not God damn it, stupid memory. But they're just.
I think the context was that they were trying to build up. They're obviously building up to a very big storyline, a big time storyline for the fall. I guess they don't want to over push him, or not in the push him to the moon sense, but physically.
Yeah.
They're taking their time, as they should. The guy just survived cancer, but if he looks like he's ready to go, then what's the fucking problem? I get the feeling that once they're back into that feud between between Reigns and Bryan, which, by the fucking way, yeah, we ain't buying that bullshit that happened on Tuesday. We know it's either Bryan or Rowan, so shit or get off the pot.
Clearly, the person who did it was the look-alike.
Clearly, it was the 1994 Denver Broncos. Anyway,
worst faction?
why the fuck not?
For me, it's none other than Shane's Goons.
Goons. Goons. Hired goons. Hired goons. Ah! I got two of them. One is the Goons. Two is Suzuki Goon. Now.
What? How dare you? How dare you? How fucking dare you?
I have an explanation. Bullet Club. On the build-up, on the high-up, they got Kenta, they got Jay White, who was the IWGP Heavyweight Champion at the beginning of the year. They got Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, who are tearing all kinds of shit up. Chaos is on the is dead, but they're not dead. Los Ingo is as strong as ever, as popular as ever. What's Suzuki Gun been up to, other than just tearing shit up like they usually do?
Taichi's been never openweight champion, and Suzuki has a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight title.
But he wasn't into G1.
But Lance Archer was.
Until the G1, Suzuki Gun's been kind of an afterthought. Taichi only had like one defense for the never openweight title, a good defense, but only one. Suzuki was pretty much booted out of the G1 climax for honest to God good reasons, but at the same time, he's one of your main heels, and he's just relegated to undercard tags? He's better than that. We all know it. So, what's the problem?
I think the problem was that the G1 was loaded, and they just couldn't find room for him.
That's pretty goddamn bad. And it's more process of elimination, but yeah, the Goons are in there too. And guess what? More than likely, the Goons are going to win out, and Suzuki Gun will be out of there because they're on the uptake. Because Taichi had a good run with the G1. Lance Archer is a fucking revelation. They're not going to stay on this list by the end of the year. But this was process of elimination with a lot of thought. It's like everyone's kicking ass, and Shane's Goons are a shit faction. Agreed there, and that's where they're on the list. But this is more of like so far. Suzuki Gun's not staying on the list, but I'm like, I have to make a point here. I gotta be slightly controversial here, if nothing else. Worst pay-per-view or network special? I get the feeling we're about to sweep this motherfucker.
I have two.
Oh, okay.
WWE Stomping Grounds and Super Showdown.
Well, it's a sweep. It's a sweep because I got Saudi Super Showdown in there too. Stomping Grounds was bad, but not to the level of nuclear bullshit that is Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
For a reason which we'll be revealed in a few minutes. Trust me. But
yeah, these two shows are bad for different reasons. Stomping Grounds is just a bad show overall, whereas Super Showdown was just an unnecessary show done for the worst of reasons.
Which is why Super Showdown wins out, because Stomping Grounds is a bad show. WWE will have bad shows all over the place. If it weren't for Saudi Showdown, Stomping Grounds would win it out outright. But you just brought it up, the reason. A bad show, an unnecessary show, and a show done for the worst reasons possible. That's bad. Add a Razzie Award-winning match of the year, as in worst match of the year, period, in that. I mean, Stomping Grounds has a couple of bad matches. This one might have this one has worst of the year. And I don't think it's going to change. I'll explain in a few minutes, of course.
Should we go? Speaking of which, should we just get to the worst match of the year?
You know what? We may as well go right there. Go ahead.
Taker Goldberg.
Taker fucking Goldberg. This match should have happened 10 years ago, let alone a few years ago when you had Goldberg and Taker still. Well, let's be honest. It should have just been 10 years ago instead of just a couple years ago in Orlando. Instead of what we got with Reigns and Taker. And even I think maybe we probably would have gotten the shit show we got here. Just watch it if you dare, of course. But
yeah, Goldberg's hair was an absolute clusterfuck due to Goldberg
being an idiot.
First busting himself open with the door before he came out, and then slamming his head straight into the ring post as fast as he could because he's Goldberg and he's ridiculous like that.
He's either an idiot or still rusty or still green after all these years.
The answer is yes.
And the heat didn't help them out, but that's like the only excuse you can legitimately throw. It was not helping anyone in that event anyway. But yeah, you want to know how you get a bad show of the year candidate? You have a worst match of the year candidate, and Taker Goldberg is right there in there. Worst manager or non-wrestling talent? Let's go with that.
Vince McMahon.
You'll not say Shane, but he's wrestled. Yeah, I had to put Vince in there too because Paul Heyman could cut a promo. Vince, not so much. Not so freaking much. And what's he contributed? A lot of beef in there, pal. And we'll do a wild card with the 2 or 3, all of the wrestlers.
That should have been my worst promo. Vince McMahon not knowing what the fuck the wild card was while he was trying to actually explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Here we had a rule that he came up with, essentially, but even though it was like a network enforced, but still, like, he had to come up with the rule, and then he still didn't know how to explain it.
That's bad. That's very bad.
And even to this very day, nobody knows how wild card actually works.
This is their excuse to saying, this is the USA Network saying, cut the fucking bullshit with the brand split. And Fox wants their separate rosters, so enjoy that clusterfuck, folks. All right, next.
Yeah, hopefully Fox can restore order, and by October, just enforce the brand split. So that way, wrestlers get the amount of time that they should deserve.
Mm-hmm. All right, how about worst on the microphone?
For me, I didn't want to put this person on the list, but she's never been that great. This has always been her weakness, and that is Natalya.
Yeah, I got the two of them. That's one of them. She was getting boring chants during Raw. The Raw after SummerSlam. She had an actually decent promo when she faced up against Becky Lynch during the build-up of SummerSlam, but outside of that, I mean, you want a good proof of why she's on the list? She was getting boring chants in Toronto after SummerSlam. Not good. And the other one is Lacey Evans. Again, more work need to be done here. Worst gimmick.
For me, the worst gimmick is
top of the list.
Shane McMahon's best in the world.
The ironically named the best in the world, Shane McMahon. Yeah. Look, do it once or twice. Don't do it every time. Devin the Great in the chat, the librarians. They're working towards something here. This is a long-term build, I think. I get the feeling.
It is, and that and the librarian's gimmick is 100% self-aware.
Yeah. They've turned into a self-aware thing, which is the smart thing to do in this case. This is a long-term
from
build.
the beginning. From the very beginning, if you've watched the Being the Elite episodes, they were self-aware of the gimmick from day one.
Let's see. What do we have left? We have worst tag team left.
I don't want to do this, but here we go. Brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because I like both these wrestlers, but here we go. It's Rude and Gable.
Whoa! Okay, yeah. Yeah, the more I think about it, yeah. I explain away.
For me, it's because they existed and then they didn't, and it's like they never did. It's like, who even cares, really? The breakup led up to nothing. They
For
may as
me,
well have
same
never-
reason, in a sense. Bailey and Sasha. They build up to the split, and then the tag team championships happen, and then they lost them, and then that's it.
Hey, Devin agrees with me. He's the smart guy.
Can ya blame him? I can't. All right. Well, we're down to the nitty gritty here. Yeah, we only got 2 left here. We have worst female and worst male. Let's start with the females.
Lacey Evans.
You don't want to put her on the list, but it's yeah. I get the feeling this is process of elimination because that's what she's on my list as well. Just a bad start, and it just bad booking, bad decisions, her inexperience, and again, not completely her fault, but that's what happens. That's what happens. Worst male wrestler.
Oh, and this person's only technically a wrestler because he did technically wrestle several matches this year, and that is Shane McMahon.
Yeah, the ironically named best in the world, Shane McMahon. Again, process of elimination. He didn't have exactly bad matches, but at the same time, come on, man. What are you doing in the ring? What are you doing in there?
He was on every pay-per-view for the entire year, I believe.
Practically, yeah.
He was on more pay-per-views than Sami Zayn, than Kevin Owens.
That's a crime in its that's an outright crime in itself, right there.
I just want to remind everyone that Shane McMahon had a SummerSlam match, but not Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So who's your worst male wrestler of the year, Matty?
Shane McMahon. Shane O'Mac,
okay,
yeah.
We're in agreement there.
The ironically named Shane O'Mac, best in the world, Shane O'Mac. I'm not even going to argue that. I can't argue that. Why would I argue that? I'm not going to argue jack shit.
And those, ladies and gentlemen, are our worst of the year 2019 thus far.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There we go. I was trying to find the music to start this here. But, yeah, there's no other way to put it. Those are the worst, ladies and gentlemen. We take a small symmetrical break.
Hold on.
Whoa.
We need to go put Jabailey? Alex Jabailey?
Whoa.
Really? My boy.
First off, I think for what it's worth, I think, Michael Nakazawa and Jabailey had an entertaining hardcore match at Fyter Fest. A lot better than it had any right to be.
Oh yeah. And here's the thing. That was just one match, and that's the only time you're gonna see Jabailey wrestle for the entire year.
Yeah.
Whereas
Shane's pretty much still on TV despite getting a loss.
So yeah, I think I made my points, but
And
then again,
Devin the Gray in the chat. Shane should never wrestle this much. Case in point. Anyway, let me hit the button for the music again. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are the worst of 2019. Of course, we don't do emails, but if you do want to send your emails for next week, for example, send them at the WrestleCast@gmail.com and all of that good stuff. We should mention next week, while we're at it, we are doing just a regular show, as per usual. We are our preview of AEW's All Out, literally 364 days after the original All In pay-per-view and all that good stuff. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, we shall return with the best of 2019 so far. When we come back, we'll be right back.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Today, wrestling fans, we're talking with U.S. Heavyweight Wrestling Champion Dusty Rhodes.
The American Dream and his new thirst-quenching partner, Mellow Yellow.
Mellow Yellow, Dusty?
Yeah, baby, you know Mellow Yellow's got that fine citrus taste. And ooh, it'll beat that Mountain Dew every time in that taste test match.
There you have it. The new tag team champions, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and great-tasting Mellow Yellow.
Woo, the winning taste. The winning taste.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
In and out. In and out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
In and Out, fresh every step of the way. Fresh tomato, lettuce, and onion. 2 juicy beef patties with cheese. Serving Southern California for over 30 years with quality you can taste.
In and Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
In and out.
This is WMOB Mobile, 12 on your channel dial and 12 in the TV ratings.
My brothers taught me about wrestling, but I taught them about eating. So he brought us to pizza, and it's all-you-can-eat buffet. You get hot, fresh pizza, thin crust or pan. Plus, there's plenty of spaghetti, garlic toast, and a salad bar, all for a super low price. That's why I'm paying today. Kev, let me pay. I'll pay for this one. You two pay for the pizza to go. Pizza to go? I thought you were full. These are for Dad. Yeah, sure. For pizza out, it's pizza in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One day, they will all come to my funeral just to make sure that I stay dead. But today is not that day. I'm alive! My heart is still beating and I'm breathing fresh air for the first time in a long time. My name is John Moxley, and I am on a mission to reclaim my soul. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks, it's about time this industry got a facelift. So make no mistake about it, this is an official declaration of war tonight to anyone who wants to get in my way and anybody who stands in AEW's way. We have a mission to knock the pillars of this industry on their ass. We ain't reading history books anymore, baby. We writing them. This is what you call a paradigm shift.
And we're back here on the Wrestle Cast. The best and worst of 2019, presented by RVT Entertainment on thebreakinginfinite.com, Podomatic.com, and wherever else you may find this fine audio program. Matty and TWK here with you as per usual. And Renico, we will continue with the best in a few seconds. Renico actually asked a pretty pertinent question. Will then JPW allow Mox to have a shooter at All Elite Wrestling? I mean,
no.
More than likely, no, because I believe Excursion is between either Ring of Honor or CMLL, one of the partner promotions. But I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, during his excursion, maybe, I don't know.
Shooter Umino versus Orange Cassidy.
Jesus Christ. I can almost see it happening. That's how crazy that is. So we'll give you a soft maybe, but with New Japan, they're not partnered officially with All Elite Wrestling. So right now, I think the answer is no. But to be fair, we don't know how the Young Lions will work. I mean, to our knowledge, they go to one of the partner promotions like CMLL, Ring of Honor, those two promotions predominantly. But we'll see what happens. Anything can happen, really. All right, the best of 2019 so far. This will obviously more than likely change by the end of the year. Some things will change more than others, but let's begin at near the bottom of the list with the best. Excuse me, I almost said worst again, but the best wrestling show of 2019 so far. What say you, T-Dub?
Not gonna be Raw because I was on my worst list.
Yeah.
Can't be Impacts because due to it changing channels, I haven't been able to catch it because we record as it broadcasts. And it can't be SmackDown because it's been having more offs than ons this year. So that leaves me with just one choice. Being the Elite.
a pseudo sweep in this case because I got a combination. I got AEW's Road 2 series, which started on the Nightmare Family and then it migrated to the official AEW channel on YouTube, and of course, Being the Elite. These two shows have done more to build up pretty much all of AEW's stuff so far than 5 hours of WWE television a week. They do in about 40 minutes tops, 30, 35 minutes, 40 minutes tops a week.
Yeah, I would say tops with all their shows. Yeah, I would say 40 minutes top.
If it's not the best, it's still fucking effective. So,
and that's what weekly wrestling shows are really all about, trying to get you excited for the next big super card.
The next big super card, so you can actually tune in / pay your money for it. So there you go.
But the main reason I say supercard and not pay-per-view is because, well, AEW has done a couple free shows.
Yeah, they've done more test shows on BR Live, and they were still paid on the Fight app, but at a considerably lesser price. And the one pay-per-view, which is Double or Nothing, was pretty much a knockout right out of the park. So there's that too. Let's see. Well, yeah, Road to blank, like Road to Fighter Fest, Road to whatever. They've done more to build up stuff. It's very effective, and I get the feeling the Road stuff will be interjected into the TNT shows, which only makes sense. But again, effective storytelling. And Rico, without Being the Elite, how would the hype be? I mean, it'd be word of mouth, but social media does wonders. But you still need at least some video, I would say. Let's go with television announcer. May as well go with that.
Kevin Kelly.
I have a 4-way tie.
For me, it has to be Kevin Kelly because he just brings that excitement, and nothing he says ever sounds phony, which is now what you know WWE television. Everything there sounds force-fed. It sounds corporate. Mm-hmm. It sounds like they're just reading lines off of a script rather than actually reacting to what's happening in front of them.
I got two counterpoints to that. Corey Graves, which is still very heavily produced, but every once in a while he sneaks in stuff, and like case in point, the small package, which was more of probably still a Vince thing, but at the same time he was probably thinking, how can I pop the boss? Drake Maverick shows up with the belt around his jugular area and not much else other than underwear for obvious reasons. And Corey Graves, I would have utilized a small package. It corpsed Michael Cole. So, the Corey Graves we know and like is still in there, and every once in a while he pops in. And the other one, Mauro. You can't produce that much hype. I'm sorry. He might be overhype, but when's the last time too much hype was a bad thing? Other than in the video game industry, obviously. Can you hear me? Oh, there we go.
Yes, I can.
I just saw you typed yes over what?
The promo you played.
Ah, the Moxley promo. I got you. But yeah. So yeah, Corey Graves, Mauro Ranallo, Kevin Kelly, and Excalibur.
Well, yeah, Excalibur is quite good as well, although I haven't heard enough of him to put him on the list yet.
Like I said, the word here is so far. And again, this guy is pretty much the anchor of that AEW crew. So, announced crew, he and Jim Ross have great chemistry. And once Golden Boy or whoever they put in there other than Alex Marvez gets in there, more repetitions, the more you're going to think, oh, this is going to sound good. And Nessman 1995, the current broadcast teams in WB are so boring. Very true. But every once in a while, Corey Graves pops in a reference or pops in something that goes, ha, nice. Good call. Shut up, Michael Cole. Anyway. Most underrated.
This one might be a surprise to some, but I still see this guy get a bit too much hate on the interwebs in some circles, and that is none other than the Kentucky gentleman, Chuck Taylor. He is very skilled. He, especially as a tag team wrestler, yeah, he can be really goofy with his promos, but when the bell rings, you can see him go. He can put on some fantastic matches. And I also like to put in there Orange Cassidy, because he's another person who can wrestle as good as anybody else, but in order to stand out, he does this whole goofy shtick, because that's what gets the YouTube clicks, that's what gets the views, that's what gets them attention, so why not do that?
And goddamn it, now I'm imagining Chuck Taylor versus Orange Cassidy, because they're both under contract with AEW.
Well, they do that. They're both part of the Gentleman's Club.
Oh.
All they're missing now is Swamp Monster. Unfortunately, they cannot get
That's
the
a
fourth
Chikara gimmick, unfortunately.
No, Gentleman's Club gimmick is an indie wrestling gimmick in general.
Ah.
However, the fourth member is under WWE contract.
Yeah.
That, of course, being Drew Gulak.
Yeah. Shit. Well, the good news, he's part of the trio that's most underrated. The only reason he's on the list because he's on 205 Live and people keep sleeping on 205 Live. This fucker is good and he's Cruiserweight Champion for a fucking reason. And we got to give some love to two guys, folks. R-Truth and Drake Maverick. Overplayed? Definitely. But tell me, when they first introduced the 24/7 championship, who'd have thunk? Talking to town and all WWE, R-Truth and Drake Maverick. They're getting the numbers on YouTube. They're getting big numbers. So, and I get the feeling they'll be overlooked, by a certain extent because of it's overplayed or their feud is whatever. They're still the funniest shit on TV, at least on WWE TV. So we gotta give them some love. Let's see. We're best promotion.
New Japan. I would put AEW on here, but they're still too new for that.
Still early. Still early. Yeah. I put an asterisk next to that.
Yeah, from what I've seen, New Japan has been the most consistent when it comes to match quality and just a good old-fashioned storytelling.
Yeah. And Nessman, why does the 24/7 title even exist? Ratings. This was literally, they're trying to get, it was their attempt to be goofy or, gritty and raw, and that didn't work, but there you go.
I might be wrong here, could be 100% in the wrong, but I could have sworn that I read that was a USA Network decision to put something
more than
like
likely.
There.
And it's one of the decisions that still kind of technically worked, so there's that. And again, kind of technically. But back to the best promotion. I have New Japan Pro Wrestling in there, obviously. They still pump up some of the best wrestling available on the other side of the pond. And I have a provisional for AEW because a few good shows. They're getting a few good shows. The wrestling's still good, but it's an asterisk. I put an asterisk next to it simply because, like you said, it's still early days for them. But the hype machine is in there, and they're just popping out some wrestling, and they are still technically the talk of the town, despite the fact that despite WWE's best effort. So there's that. Let's see. Best angle or storyline.
I'm going to get probably a little bit of heat for this, but for me, best angle, I'm going to say it, Shooter Umino.
Moxley's work with Shota Umino, I mean, that could fit under most underrated in a sense.
Possibly, because everything about it was entertaining. Everything. Like with just the promos that Moxley would constantly cut backstage with Shota Umino, and the fact that wherever you see Moxley, there's Shota right behind him with the belt.
And they even showed him with there was someone it was a fan art of everyone that participated in the G1, including the winner, which was with Kota Ibushi. And Moxley was there, and there's Shooter holding up the belt. Some of the funniest shit in the G1, and that's hard to do, especially when Yano is in there.
Yeah, so props to Shota for constantly keeping the straight face through the whole thing, because I don't know how he
probably doesn't understand what the fuck John's saying half the time anyway.
Possibly. I mean, he might. You don't know his education.
I mean, he might, and then he's like, straight face, don't want to get beat up by Minoru. But there's that too. Most improved.
Tai Chi.
Good call there.
There's a reason why he was put in the G1 this year, and Yoshihashi was not.
Actually, that's reason enough. He replaced Yoshihashi. Most improved motherfucker, right there. No, John Moxley. Because he starts the year as Dean Ambrose. You see, it's going down as okay. He's happy. He looks like he doesn't want to be there. The minute his contract ends, his Twitter vignette pops out. Internet blows up. He shows up at Double or Nothing. Holy shit! He looks like he's so happy to goddamn be there to soak into that love and heat, and you're like, ah. And then there's the work. And there is one match actually, he hasn't debuted for AEW yet, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well, technically not, because his match was unsanctioned.
Fair point, yeah. Sure, I almost forgot about Joey Janela. I'm sorry, Joey. Saw some meet you last weekend. No, his match against Joey Janela is like a return to hardcore. And then primarily his work in the G1.
Oh, wait, that reminds me. Man versus Invisible Stan match yet?
Hmm?
Did you watch the Invisible Man versus the Invisible Stan?
Although from Join Janela's Spring Break?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Jesus Christ.
It went up on YouTube for free about a week ago.
I watched it when it was readily available, and yeah, holy balls, that is something to watch. That is taking suspension of disbelief to the nth degree right there.
And the fact that the crowd went along with it every step of the way, that's amazing. I love you, crowd.
Yes.
Hashtag fuck you, Stan.
Yeah. Yeah, but back to
I just
John.
want everyone to know, an Invisible Man that doesn't even exist drew better heat than Baron.
But yeah, John Moxley, most approved. You watch his, look at his work as Dean Ambrose, and then look at his work at the G1. Holy balls, where was that guy in WWE? Censored, most likely.
Handcuffed
like a motherfucker. Well, he ain't a prisoner no more. Not anymore. Best feud.
There's a lot here. There's some really good feuds, really good ones. One was brought up earlier in the chat, and that was Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan. That was really excellently done.
Yeah,
for the most part, especially the payoff.
Oh yeah.
But even despite the fact we're not getting this match, the build-up has been amazing. Every interaction they have has the crowd off their feet. I should say on their feet, off their seat, on their feet. I guess I could say.
On their feet. Yeah.
And that's Kenny Omega versus John Moxley.
The feud continues. It's just it'll be resolved at a later date.
Let's just hope that as it continues, they're able to keep that fire going.
Again, bad luck is the
difficult part.
Bad luck's the big reason why it's not happening. But again, life is a bitch.
And do you know what I love about this feud so much? Is the fact that they have not had a match against each other at all. They've been building for months for just one single one-on-one match.
Well, they've touched each other, they brawled, but it's just been brawling interactions, pull-apart brawls, and promos. Not one fucking match.
And the fact that these brawls, not a single one of them lasts more than 5 minutes. If even that long.
And I'm willing to bet Moxley's going to do everything he can to show up to try to beat up Kenny Omega next weekend. Though he probably won't be able to, but he's going to fucking try.
Yeah, for all we know, as soon as if Kenny Omega could beat Pac, then as soon as he's done with that, all of a sudden, out of the crowd, out of nowhere, once again comes John Moxley, and these two just start brawling once again.
His arm in a sling, still healing up from the surgery, but I get the feeling he'll try to be in Chicago and come hell or high water. He won't be medically cleared. He won't fucking care, though.
So, Matty, what's your feud of the year?
Kofi versus Bryan is a stellar example right there. And that's the one I have on there. Just the build up, the Kofi Mania thing. Again, this, as Randy Orton posited, if Ali didn't have that bad injury, Kofi would not be there. But again, happenstance of the build up to him winning the title at WrestleMania, that pop.
Yeah, according to the dirt sheets, if they're to be believed, that spot that Kofi got in Mania was either going to go to Ali or Owens.
Would have Ali won? That's my big thing, Owens, I would have popped huge, but again, catharsis being catharsis, Kofi earned it, but.
And Ali still got many years left ahead of him for his wrestling career. Yeah. He always gets that main event again.
And he's got that shot for the Intercontinental title. Oh, fuck. Moving on. Moving right along. Best title reign. This one was more difficult than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, because there's been a few good ones, but for me, I'm split between two, actually. They're both for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. One is Dragon Lee. The other is the current champion, Will Ospreay. They're both. Dragon Lee had a really great run. Will Ospreay's on an amazing run. And as junior heavyweight champion, he's actually beaten several heavyweights, something that you don't see that often.
Yeah, because he was in the G1, and that's why he's getting best title reign is Will Ospreay for me. He's doing things as junior heavyweight champion right now that I'm surprised no one else is. Not everyone is talking more at length about. Yes, he's a junior, but he moved up to heavy. He was the never open weight champion for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, and he has stated multiple times that he wants to be the absolute best junior heavyweight champion of all time, and he wants to elevate the division to the same level as the heavyweight division. And, well, he's on his way at this point.
There you go. Let's see, what do we do next? How about, let's do the heels and faces. How about the heels first?
This one's going to be a sweep. Let's say it on three. One, two, three.
MJF.
MJF.
How could it not be Maxwell Jacob Freeman? The heel heat he gets just by opening his mouth and saying words. His Twitter game is about as good as Becky Lynch's is. And he's just better than you, and you know it. And we all know it.
Then the best part is sometimes he doesn't even need to speak. He just needs to go into arena, make a face at someone, and then just colossal heat. He's just so fucking good. He's so fucking good.
And he's so young, and he's going to get so fucking better.
And the thing is, Matty actually spelled this like 2 months ago.
I did. Literally, the promo he got at Fyter Fest. I'm like, Jesus, the heat he got from people who probably were seeing him for the very first time. That's a mark of a good heel. It's not the hardcore fans you have to worry about. It's the casual. It's not just the casuals. It's the new people. If you can get the new people to boo you after 5 minutes, after 2 minutes on a microphone, that's talent. And
yeah, that and just his facial expressions are absolutely perfect.
And it definitely doesn't hurt that he absolutely hates Power Rangers, but that's, you know. That
got him a lot of Twitter heat.
There you go. Yeah. I'm like, everyone's booing him, and I'm like, heel of the year. Right there. Heel of the fucking year. You want heat? Fuck Power Rangers. Monster heat. And I'm like, just
if they really want heat, what they'll do, oh man, do they have any Toku fans on their roster? Makes me wish they were working with New Japan.
Not to my knowledge, unfortunately.
Really made me wish they were working with New Japan, so that way, you know, you have Tanahashi show up to a Toku convention, and then all of a sudden out comes MJF.
Oh, Jesus H. Christ. Like, say, for example, you know, a couple of years down the line, Japan World Heroes, Tanahashi shows up, MJF, Kamen Rider double sucks. Boo!
Even better, even better. Forze was the best in Union.
Ooh. No, not Forze. Ghost.
I also have not watched that one, although I have not heard the best of things about it. The thing I hear most is the fact that
no.
Narration.
You want us to get the boo the fuck out of him? He comes on a microphone and he goes, Takaharu is the best. Takaharu is the best. AKA the Red Ninja Red.
Words, Matty.
The Red Ranger, the Red Senshi and Nin Ninja, Takaharu, best ever. Fight me. Boo! Hey. And worse, can't talk. Best babyface.
I'm gonna have to give it to Seth Rollins' adversary, Will Ospreay. Also, when you lose a Twitter battle to a guy who once tweeted out that he doesn't know what it's not, is it? What I can't believe it's not butter is. What is your life? Will
Then
Ospreay
again,
literally
he's
tweeted out-
British. You know?
No. No, it's not. It's nothing to do with that because even Jimmy Havoc was laughing at him over it.
Oh God!
In fact, Jimmy Havoc has stated that whenever he's feeling down, he pulls up that tweet just to laugh at it.
Oh God! If MJF if Will Ospreay ever gets to face MJF down the line, that's like the basis of the feud right there.
But nevertheless, Will Ospreay is just a really good white meat babyface in every sense of that term. Just that classic goody good guy, and he plays it really well, which can be really difficult to do in this day and age.
Mm-hmm. For me, I got two. Obviously, one of them is Will Ospreay. The other one, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens. I will not be fought about you. I will not be argued upon on. You will not argue. You cannot change my mind on Kevin Owens. Anyway.
No, neither will I try.
And I don't need to explain it. He gets good pops. He's obviously facing against the guy with the worst gimmick and the worst wrestler in the world, Shane McMahon, but he's always been good enough on the mic to carry the anti-hero phase of it. But right now, he's maybe not, I mean, he may not be white meat babyface, but he is a babyface, and he is getting the pops for it. So, plus it definitely helps to use a stunner.
That always gets a pop.
Oh yeah.
Just ask Willie Mack.
Very true. You know what's funny? Lucha Underground's no longer on Netflix, but you know where it is now? All 4 seasons of it at the very least? They only had the 4 seasons, right? All 4 seasons? Tubi.
Yeah, I heard about that. And
it's up there, and yeah. And it's free, so if you folks want to watch some of the best wrestling that's happened in the last couple years ago, right there. Tubi app. Best comeback.
Jon Moxley, after having a lackluster final run WWE, he came back with an absolute vengeance in AEW and New Japan and just showing up wherever he wanted to, whatever promotion he wanted to. He just showed up unannounced.
From literally on his way out and depressed about being a part of the WWE prison, system, to the hottest name in professional goddamn wrestling. Yeah, Jon Moxley. It's a fucking sweep. Having a good time with the G1 definitely helps. Having one of the marquee matchups up until today definitely helps. And his promo game, good lord, which was never in doubt, but it got stamped. It got stamped the fuck down in the last 6 months. Actually, no, man, in the last few months. So there you go. Let's see. What do we have next? All right, well, you know what? Best pay-per-view or network special.
For me, it is Double or Nothing, just, if nothing else, for its sheer importance for the wrestling industry. This is one of the absolute make-or-break points for AEW. If this was an absolute failure, this could have absolutely crippled the whole company. But it went off, it was a success, and now they're off to the races. And it really showed just how much demand there actually was for wrestling in the United States to be an alternative to WWE.
AEW's Double or Nothing. The match quality helps. Selling out of Vegas, which ever since, which is a rarity in all of wrestling, definitely helps. And just molten hot crowd with great wrestling and a 5-star match between Cody and Dustin Rhodes. That helps a lot. All right, best promo.
You heard it earlier tonight. It was John Moxley's Paradigm Shift promo.
I have Moxley for that. That's definitely that. Also, I just put down any Moxley post-match Shota with Shooter Umino.
Yeah, those were entertaining.
You are guaranteed a chuckle with those things. But yeah, it will be the Paradigm Shift because, god damn, in that 1 minute, you were hype, my friends.
Then they just shot that whole promo in one take. That was all they needed. Just follow him around.
One
the camera.
take. Literally, he just asked, "Can I have a camera to follow me?" And Cody said, "Yup." The camera followed. He cut the promo. Cut. Print. Wrestling company.
Yeah, they didn't need to. He didn't need a script. He didn't need to rehearse anything for several hours on end. And he just went off the top of his head. And he just went with those ever natural. Cut a promo. And that was it. Straight from the heart.
Yep.
Like it should.
Like it should be. Best manager or non-wrestling talent?
Gato. Although Jotto is also good at, being heat seeker.
He is the master heater. He is the master heater.
Jotto is the master heater, but Gato is the true seeker of heat.
Oh
the guy,
God, yeah. He and Jay White. Which, by the way, for those wondering, yeah, Jay White's number 2 on my list for heel of the year.
Yeah, he just gets that natural, just I want to hurt you heat from the crowd. Like they want to massacre him. They want to see somebody just absolutely destroy him.
Yeah.
And when someone does, you can feel the crowd get catharsis out of it.
And this is why this is probably going to be a fight. I don't know if it's going to be. For me, it's going to be MJF, but I get the feeling for a lot of people it's going to be between MJF and Jay White as heel of the year at the end of the year.
Possibly.
Because Jay White, he still gets that heel heat real good. For me, I got 2. Paul Heyman, because the lone highlight of Brock Lesnar showing up as Paul Heyman cutting some goddamn good promos. And Tony Khan. He's not an on-screen character per se, but he does the press conferences, he does the interviews. Smart motherfucker, and you know what? He and his family have the balls to put money into a brand new company, and he got wrestling back on TNT. That cannot be understated, and that cannot be overstated at all. Is huge. Let's see. Let's see what else we have. How about best rookie?
Shota Umino. This is his absolute year. Hopefully what he showcased this year will convince the company to put him on excursion next year.
And 2 for me. 1, Jungle Boy.
That's a good one.
He's a hell of a discovery, and if he keeps popping out good performances like that, he might topple Shooter Umino for me, which is my other one, by the way. And Riniko with Ren and Rita, which is another good one, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, New Japan's got some good young lions.
They got good wrestlers. That's just period there. But yeah, Jungle Boy is a hell of a discovery, man. They will not regret that discovery. Will AEW. Let's see. Best faction.
Bullet Club for life.
They're on the uptake. They got Kenta. Good pick. Good pick. Me? Shock the System. Undisputed Era. I sense resentment here.
No, I just wanted to do that thing at the end with the theme.
Oh, fair enough. Also, boom! There we go. And of course,
that
Adam Cole, baby!
I was surprised the crowd did the whole boom thing during all the entrances.
Hot crowd in Toronto, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Toronto loves themselves some Undisputed Era.
Oh, they do. They love, you know who they love? Adam Cole, baby! They love him too.
Do you know who will get Adam Cole legitimate heel heat?
What?
If he used his New Japan theme.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that got him some heat.
Okay.
Literally, all it was him is literally, it's some music, some good music, and then repeating his Adam Cole, baby! Adam Cole, baby! New Japan knows how to get heel heat. They know how to do that.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who remembers that. I feel that if he used that as his entrance theme again, that would get him heel heat. Just over and over and over.
Vince could do it, and I would not blame him. We'd be going, good call. Good fucking call.
Let's see. Rico says LIJ, and Devin says
call.
Undisputed Era. All right.
Good picks.
choices.
Absolute good picks here, folks. Let's see. Where are we? We are almost at the top. We are, let's see. I don't know. Best on the microphone. Let's do that.
MJF. Who else could it be?
MJF. Absolutely MJF. Just the control that he has over his words is key to his being the best heel, and that is absolutely key, on point. Let's see. We're down to the nitty-gritty here. Best gimmick.
What was that?
Best gimmick.
Oh, that's without a shadow of a doubt, Orange Cassidy.
Ooh. An excellent choice. A fine choice, good sir. Freshly squeezed, of course.
Yes, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. A gimmick where he sticks his hands in his pocket and wrestles very lazily for the first half of the match, but by the end he is pulling out really spectacular maneuvers, like we all know he can, and putting on just a really good match.
And for me, and it's a fine choice, but for me, Firefly Funhouse.
That's another great one.
Just Bray Wyatt's reinvention of his character from the Firefly Funhouse and the Fiend. Outside of, and just staying within the WWE walls, I have not seen a reaction so positive for a new gimmick in years.
Also, this gimmick's going good when it even gets in the video game, despite it debuting so late. Like, that shows you how much the company is actually behind it, and how good the reception is everywhere.
It's a good reception when all of the merch sells out. Like, they had like a box for the Firefly Funhouse fun set that sold out in a jiffy. Everyone was buying the masks, shirts, and gimmicks all of SummerSlam weekend. This is a money gimmick, and people are saying, "Oh, they're overusing him. They're the Fiend show up. He shouldn't show up, folks." It's just keeping in mind that he could pop up at any time. He didn't have to show up last week, but he showed up, and he beat up and he choked out Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, I do like how they just have him show up unannounced just to attack people, just to let you know, hey, you never know when you see him. He could be in the next segment. He might not be. Who knows? He might be here next week. He might not be. Who knows? Maybe he'll show up on SmackDown. You can never tell.
Maybe he'll show up on NXT.
Here's the thing. He's the only wrestler I want to see show up on Raw and SmackDown, and possibly NXT as well. The only one. Just to give him that unique feeling that you really don't know where he's going to be. You really don't know. And that also could be really frightening, because just imagine someone's walking backstage during NXT. They're like, coming up next, it's Tyler Breeze. And as he's walking backstage, all of a sudden, he is grabbed, thrown into a closet. The camera follows him. You see Bray Wyatt choking the hell out of him, and then just shuts the door. And it's like, what the fuck just happened?
And then next week, it's a crossover of the Fashion Police and the Firefly Funhouse with good guy Bray Wyatt.
No. Fashion Police tonally is way too goofy for Firefly Funhouse, which I know it's weird saying that, but just keep those. No.
Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah. Huh. Anyway.
All right, what's next?
Match of the year. This was tough for me.
Yeah, as usual, we got a lot of great matches, but for me, my favorite match of the year, Will Ospreay versus Shingo Takagi from the Best of the Super Juniors finals.
I am not going to blame you. That is an excellent pick. I got two. I could not keep myself to just one. The first one, Moxley versus Ishii, G1 Climax 29. Just fucking A. Just those two just beating the shit out of each other all around Korakuen Hall, which was an excellent setting for that matchup. And Dustin versus Cody, Double or Nothing.
I don't need a tag team partner. I need my older brother. The Young Bucks have ruined that promo for me.
They have ruined it in probably the best possible way to build up heat, which is what you're supposed to do, but at the same time, just the match itself, instant classic, and it is in need of being brought up.
And Devin is saying Omega versus Jericho. That's a good one.
No, an excellent one, yeah.
And he says Orange Cassidy is the Johnny Cage of wrestling, which I actually see The Miz as Johnny Cage.
No, Miz is more Johnny Cage. Orange Cassidy, what?
I can't think of anyone I could compare Orange Cassidy to, really. He's a unique entity to himself.
I'd say if Garfield and John Morrison or Johnny Mundo
or Jim Morrison,
Jim Morrison did the fusion dance and got really shit-faced. And
also, JC is
got a critical dose of not giving a fuck.
Yeah, indeed. And JC is saying Kofi versus Bryan for his match of the year.
Another good call. I need my older brother to call me an Uber, says Devin the Great. Anyway, let us go up the list and go for Tag Team of the Year.
I know this list is looking quite biased, but I have to call it like I see it. And for me, it's none other than the Young Bucks. Every match they have is amazing.
This will be biased simply because look at all the other matches, all the other tag divisions. Yeah, the Good Brothers are having a run right now, but they haven't had a run since they started that run, when they got, quote, useful. Because they got that 5-year contract to kill now. Young Bucks, on the other hand, constant presence in media, yes, but they are a constant presence in good match of the week candidates or match of the month candidates. Last time I checked, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Ding. So yeah.
And Devin once again agrees with me. Young Bucks and an honorable mention.
SCU. Yeah.
I'd also like to give an honorable mention to the newly made free agents, LAX.
Yeah, LAX, SCU, definitely on the list as well. And if you put that in there, yeah. There's some
also,
good tag
Red
teams
Dragon
out there.
Was great.
Yeah.
Red Dragon's great. The Street Profits were great.
Oh yeah. Street Profits might if Street Profits got another couple of good matches either in NXT or Raw or SmackDown or wherever they land, they get some good matchups going. It might be a toss-up between Young Bucks and Street Profits. Because Street Profits, they're knocking out their promo. They're knocking out good promo after good promo after good promo. So there's that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the meat of the program. The last two, anyway. Wrestlers of the Year. We start, as we begin, we start, of course, ladies first. T-Dub, Female Wrestler of the Year.
Somebody who, despite never being champion of this promotion, was still basically one of the people that's been featured prominently throughout the year, and that is Io Shirai.
Just the run so far, yeah. Not gonna blame you. She's my honorable mention. Now, Jay Coggins, honorable mention to the Graveyard Dogs for washing taste of Saudi Arabia out of our mouths. We're talking about regular tag teams, though, Jay Coggins. Not a bad pick, but, you know. Io Shirai gets honorable mention. The Becky Lynch gets honorable mention just in the promo game and the Twitter game alone. But this might be a tad controversial. But in just match quality alone, her match at Mania was a high-profile match. Her matches on TV, either she looks good or she finds a way to try to make everyone look good. Her success rate wasn't as good as it should be. But she finds a way to make good TV matches. Her pay-per-view matches are still decent. I went with Charlotte Flair.
Alrighty then, that's interesting.
The WrestleMania match could have gone sideways many, many times, but she and Becky, but specifically Charlotte, was the glue of that matchup. Let's put it that way. Ironically enough, she was supposed to face Ronda, and then Becky got hot in the idea of Becky versus Ronda, and then she was shoehorned in there. But then you think about it now, it's like Ronda versus Becky, would it have been as good without Charlotte? And you think about it, it's like, ooh, that's terrifying. Considering what the finish was, Jesus, that could have been, ouch. Despite the fact that Ember Moon lost, she still had a great match with Charlotte Flair. Her match against Trish Stratus was better than it had any right to be. Now, it definitely goes to show that Trish kept her cardio up thanks to yoga and all this stuff. But any other woman in that position, would the match have been a highlight of SummerSlam? Think about it for a second, because I had to think about that. I was like, it was a tough sell, because I was thinking Becky Lynch, but then I was like, Charlotte Flair deserves some credit here, because that match against Trish could have been worse, oh so worse, but Charlotte kept it together. Male wrestler.
That goes to the current G1 Climax winner, Kota Ibushi. He's been having one hell of a year outside of one match with Tetsuya Naito, but outside of that, great year.
See, that's why it's like a three-way tie, because I'm like, if I put Ibushi, I'd be acknowledging that match against Naito, which was good, but I'm like, that had one dangerous fucking spot. So I don't know if I could put him on the list at the end of the year, but I'm putting it as a provisional. Keep the good matches going. We know we got at least a few matches between here and the end of the year. And you got King of Pro Wrestling and a couple other matches here and there. A couple of tours left before the end, before they have the rest period before the big thing at January 4th and 5th. However, it's a three-way tie. Ibushi's in there. Chris Jericho is in there. His match against, I believe it was Naito at Wrestle Kingdom was a highlight. His match against Kenny Omega was a highlight. And did we mention he's nearing his fucking 50s? And he's competing at the same level. And at the highest level possible. Oh, and he is one of the figurehead marquee names at the new promotion. And the third, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't resist. Adam Cole, baby. We're not trying to bury Adam Cole here.
I know. I was doing my impression of his old theme song.
Yeah.
Just so people got a little taste.
Just in case. And Devin the Great, Kenny Omega. That's another good pick. Another great pick. You know, all that stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, unless I have missed something, that's it. That's all of it. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's all. We're not going to do winners and losers this week.
That's all, folks.
Yeah. We're not going to do winners and losers because we just give you a whole list of winners and losers there. But all we got left to do is plug our stuff and hype up next week. WWF Attitude. I will say this. You did a good choice by going for the PS1 version. So I played the N64 version. And all you're missing from either version was the PS1's full screen video, full motion video intro. Really.
That and higher quality music.
Yeah. Though the music, actually, to be fair, the music in N64 was pretty decent quality, all things considered. I mean, compared to the THQ hockey games, obviously, but or apples and oranges here, obviously. YouTube.com/C/TWK reviews. By the way, that's how you checked it out.
Yep, and I'm working on my next video as we speak. You want to know what I'm reviewing? I give you a hint to it. I basically tell you what it is, essentially, during the credits. So, if you ever want to know what I'm doing next, in the next video, just stick around for the credits. Really.
Stick around for the credits of the current video. And of course, if you want to watch the new video just a couple of days early, you could go to TWK's Patreon, patreon.com/TWK reviews. You could support them there. Excuse me, a little bit of carbonation there. And of course, if you want to support me, of course, I got my tip jar, paypal.me/MattyJ316. Donations are optional, but always welcome. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter at MattyJ316, at TWK Official. Of course, I am on Instagram as well at the same thing at Talk Matty Talk MattyJ316. Of course, we have our merch store, streamlabs.com/RVT Entertainment/merch. We have some shirts, we have some tote bags, some limited edition tote bags. First come, first serve on those bad boys. Of course, we got mugs and all that good stuff. Of course, as we always say, buy the shirt! Or actually, buy the merch! And all of that good stuff. Emails, as always, thewrestlecast@gmail.com. The address is on the screen. Of course, thank you, Mark Rubin. If you want to find out what else is on this particular channel, the link is in the description below, of course. And the link is in the chat room as well. Of course, that's !schedule. We have Discord. The link's in there as well as, of course, in the chat. Of course, all of our VODs available at youtube.com/C/RVT Entertainment. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to do it. We thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you for sticking around with us for 2 hours, actually, as a matter of fact. On behalf of my good buddy TWK.
Until next time, this TWK reviews telling you to work here again.
My name is Matty J, reminding you to help professional wrestling, support your independent promotion as soon as possible. Shout out to Fighting Back 9, 50 grand Canadian. That's a record, unofficially. So that is fucking awesome. And the C-Force next show will be in September. I'll give you some details next week. I am getting tired, and I just want to get out of here and edit this show and put it together so you can listen to the VOD and the MP3s and the RVDs, I guess. I don't know. Have a good one. Have a safe, and we will talk to you next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Wow. God,
Come on,
Cedric
man.
picked up the W. Now my bracket is looking good so far. I'm 2 for 2, Dawkins. What you got, man?
Man, my bracket already busted. I had Cesaro making it to the finals. Come on, man.
Well, sir, if you're having a problem with our customer support, you can call 1-800-EAT-A...
We don't even have those.